My name is Ernest M. Keeling. Welcome to this reading, a poem and social comment on systemic corruption at all levels of government in St. Martin, the racist nature of youth courts in Belgium, and the social phenomenon that prevailed in the aftermath of Dutroux, mismanaged by the justice system. Also, it is to expose the judicial mafia in Bruges and Ghent, which destroyed my family life over 25 years, contravening the European Convention on Human Rights, Article 8, right to respect for private and family life, namely, Youth Judge Verelst, Deputy Crown Prosecutor Hilde de Slepere, Examining Magistrate Hewart, Youth Judge Oplinus, Advocate General Maas, Family Court Judge Sabine de Beau, and Advocate General Chantal Lansens. I dedicate this autobiographical poem to parents estranged from their children by the custodial parent through manipulation of the justice apparatus and using their children as weapons of destruction. Copyright. The title of this villanelle is Parental Alienation Syndrome, aka Sick in the Mind. She stole my kids for a third world roulette ride. Before shaking her pussy in my African tent, she should have confessed being sick in the mind. 4 years jail, correctional judge confides. Waited out bronzing on Moy's Jobbery Island. Extradition refused by McDonald's with fries. Belgian youth judges, void of professional pride, in lieu of sanctions, applauded the kidnap crime, knowing deep down she was sick in the mind. Lies spewed from her maw like sewage on the tide. She falsified a child report in Yanvalou trance on voodoo sands. A fugitive on Mafia Kentucky Fried. 3 kids in her snare, 3 blind mice. To manipulate with tarot, witchery and vice. Obsessed with my ruin, she was sick in the mind. Her mentality of the shades, bestial in kind, a chthonic mutation in the 8th circle slime, forced the kids to Big Mac with drugs on the side, now recoils in the mirror from the monster inside. Parental alienation syndrome, the mental aberration which arises in children when the custodial parent manipulates them to reject the other, was developed by the late American Professor Richard Gardner, highly regarded in his field of applied child psychiatry. He distinguishes 3 degrees regarding the attitude of the custodial parent: severe, moderate, and mild. In severe cases, the parent is utterly fanatical and paranoid, a framework tailor-made for my ex-partner, Herlinda Dollar. Find more about PAS on the World Wide Web. In 2002, sociopath and pathological liar H. Dollar, Belgian nationality, kidnapped my 3 children, Mikhail, Nikolai and Noemi, to St. Martin, an action approved by Belgian youth judges. There she bought off corrupt prosecutor B.F. Moy and the criminal, anonymous, so-called child expert to support her fugitive status. With what inducements? Without testimony from Dollar, bribery and sexual favors cannot be ruled out. According to the child report, the children were interviewed 5 times. How much was the author paid for these lies? In effect, Dollar's personal report. Moy contrived the decision of the Justice Court in Aruba not to extradite. I was barred from attending the decision, a foregone conclusion. Dollar returned to Belgium 18 years later, but was never made accountable by the justice system. These bigoted authorities gave her carte blanche, refused to take action on my behalf against her defamatory statements in St. Martin, even aided and abetted her to destroy my family life. They accepted without question her transparent lies in 1997 when, during the post-true social phenomenon, thousands of mothers falsely alleged incest to destroy the father-children relationship. I was denied visitation rights for a whole year pending investigation, all for a lie. They refused me custody when she kidnapped them, despite this being in their interests and recommended by prosecutor Beckham. Custody may have facilitated repatriation, an outcome the racist judges didn't want. Strikingly, this support from the prosecutor's office Bruges, which did not change outcomes, ran contrary to the views of Chief Prosecutor Bergvens, which did. He later enabled the children to renew their passports in St. Martin. Without passports, the children could not have enrolled in school, and Dollar would have had little choice but to return home. After all, there was a warrant out for her arrest. Examples of Dollar's perjury before Belgian youth courts in letters dated and signed give an insight into her psyche, Dutch with English translation. 1. De kinderen moeten namelijk de broek van meneer Williams naar beneden trekken. De winnaar mag dan zijn penis aanschouwen. Sick. Letter to Prosecutor's Office, Bruges, 25/9/1997. Translation. Namely, the children have to pull down Mr. Williams' trousers. The winner then gets to behold his penis. 2. Ik heb raad gevraagd bij het ANC. De heer Williams werkte daar undercover. Daar kennen zij zijn gevaarlijke agressie en hebben weet van ernstige verkrachtingen. Sick. Letter to Judicial Authorities, Bruges, 10/2/2002. Translation. I have sought advice with the ANC. Mr. Williams worked there undercover. There they know his dangerous aggression and have knowledge of serious rapes. 3. Noemi kan on haar 4 jaar haar vaders grote penis met heel veel haar beschreven. Ook aan de jongens toen hij condooms met sperma erin. Same letter of 10/2/2002. Translation. Noemi could describe at 4 years old her father's big penis with lots of hair. Also to the boys, he showed condoms with sperm in. 4. The children also mentioned that their father once came to show them a condom filled with sperm. Declared in the fake child report concocted in St. Martin for corrupt prosecutor Moy, being a mere repetition of lies contained in the earlier letter of 10/2/2002. 5. Daarbij kwam nog dat hij een tuinhuis als slaapkamer inrichtte. Wie zou 's nachts bij haar komen? Hij zou haar niet alleen in de tuin laten slapen. Letter to Judge Oplinus Gent from St. Martin, dated 7/4/2005. Nota bene, all her previous letters were handwritten. This was typed and in another style, indicating family conspiracy. Translation. Added to this, the fact that he had set up a garden house as a bedroom. Who would come to her, Noemi, at night? He would not let her sleep alone in the garden. Dollar's exploitation of the children was psychological abuse. Some medical professionals may describe her as cognitively impaired. Professor Gardner would have concluded utterly fanatical and paranoid. What does this say about officers in St. Martin and Belgium who supported her for 2 decades? Of Belgium's justice system comparable to a banana republic? The viewer may decide about Dollar's mentality, but in my humble opinion, no normal person would abuse their children this way. Calling Mikhail Nikolai and Noemi Williams. When Dollar kidnapped you to St. Martin and falsified the child report, I repeat this extract from the report. The children also mentioned that their father once came to show them a condom filled with sperm. This lie has festered uncorrected in the Belgian archives for 2 decades, and you have ignored earlier demands to rectify it. Find courage to free yourselves from the deviant sociopath that snared you. Remedy the situation and apologize ASAP. You have nothing to lose but your shame. Viewers who have suffered life experiences, similar life experiences, are invited to leave a comment. Thank you for your attention.